So, Alex, did you know that Star Wars Celebration is going on at the moment?
I did not know. Please explain to me the concept of Star Wars Celebration.
Oh, you know, it's like E3 for Star Wars. That's actually, that's probably the best explanation I can give.
Give us some sniping, Commando.
E3 for Star Wars, you say? Is it funded by our corporate overlords at Disney?
It is funded by our corporate overlords at Disney. Which is a funny joke if you understand that Maker Studios is owned by Disney. If you don't understand that, then that wasn't a funny joke.
And there's nothing funnier than a joke that you have to explain.
Yep. Speaking of jokes that I don't want to have to explain.
Audience.
So there was something that was incredibly hard to watch at the Star Wars Celebration. They were doing a. I just want to talk about it. I'm not going to give away what the spoiler was, but a spoiler came up, and I was watching it live, and the moment of oh crap, did he just say that? Happened, and it was a Rogue One panel. They were talking about the story, and they were introducing like all the characters, like Forrest Whitaker's character being a character from the Clone Wars series, which is really cool. By the way, you know who Forrest Whitaker is?
The like person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so they go through this whole thing where they're explaining their characters, and it gets to this one dude who is the dude with the long hair in the trailer with the big gun. Like that's who he is.
Yeah,
but he
really
is from
descriptive for Star Wars trailers.
Well,
he was that dude in the mask with the weight on it.
Just killed R2. When you see him, you'd be like, "Oh, I get you. I know exactly who you're talking about." But the problem is, that he's from China or Hong Kong. I don't remember. But either way, he speaks Mandarin, so he has a really hard time speaking English. And everybody was being really careful with the spoilers. They're like, no, we can't say that. We can tell you that, you know, so-and-so is the character from the Clone Wars, but we can't tell you really anything more than that. And this guy starts explaining his character and his relation to the character that is blind with the staff. And he just lets something slip accidentally, because he has a hard time speaking English. And it was one of the hardest things I've ever had to watch. Because the guy next to him, that was the spoiler of who it was for, you can see him facepalm and clutch his fist a bit. And then everybody else was like, oh, this is really awkward. And Gwendolyn, the woman who plays, freaking, what's her name, in Phasma, Captain Phasma in episode 7, but he's more known for Game of Thrones, was hosting it. And she was just like, I think that's all you can say. Okay, moving on. It was just really awkward. I don't hate that. I really hate little awkward moments like that.
Well, then you should stop watching Star Wars.
Hey, stop. It was just the fact that the spoiler came up accidentally. It sucks. It's like there's nothing that guy could have done, really, because he was doing his best. But at the same time, I feel like, I guess I'm kind of disappointed, I think is the thing. And what I wanted to ask you is, has there ever been anything that you were really looking forward to that got spoiled? Story-wise?
Spoiled.
Like, did something ever get spoiled for you?
I mean, I don't know. I just like, I encounter it like so often. Like, there's a guy at work who like is literally the worst person to like be around for like anything remotely spoiler related. Like, it's like 50-50 shot on like literally anything. It's like Sixth Sense, he'll ruin it immediately. Like Game of Thrones, ruin it immediately. Like a 10-year-old movie that I've never seen, he won't talk about it. Like, it's so hit or miss. So like everything in recent memory has either been like either like, just don't tell me, just please stop talking, or it's like, do you want me to spoil it for you? Okay, here's the twist. I'm like, you didn't even let me say yes or no.
I didn't even answer.
Like, you're like, can I spoil it for you? And I'm like, no. Like, every time you ask me this, I want to say no, but then you just do it anyway, so I say yes.
That's unfortunate.
But anything like significant, I can't really think of anything where like I was shocked at the twist. Though I will say, recently I was watching some people do a Let's Play of Ocarina of Time, and one of the guys did not realize that Zelda was Sheik.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so when she changed, she was like, "What?" And like I remember as a kid being like, "Isn't that Zelda?"
Yeah. I mean, it's fairly obvious when you think back at it.
Well, it's like she disappears and nobody talks about her, and Ganon doesn't have her. Like, Ganon doesn't have her. And it's like Sheik is the only other person who exists who is also like suspiciously close to somebody who is missing.
Right. I actually have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing here.
I know. What is going on in this game?
We're in the detention block.
We were always in the detention block.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Okay, we gotta go into the trash compactor. Is that what we're about to do?
I think I remember enjoying that scene.
In every Star Wars, there's got to be got a bad feeling about this.
There's got to be a red lit corridor.
I think that's exactly what this is.
Oh, that's immersion breaking.
Isn't it though? Where are we? Changing visor mode. Crap! What was the visor mode button? X. That's it. Oh, there's dead bodies. Got to be kidding.
Ghosts.
All right, this is getting serious. Get out of there, squad. The Trandoshan dropship is nearby.
Okay.
How did the Trandosians kill anyone?
Those scavengers are for.
Because they're Trandoshan. I don't know. That's the best I got.
Nailed it. Like.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna need the vision mode. Do I have a different weapon that I can be using?
I'm thinking really hard about games that got spoiled for me.
And not just like games, like it could be even movies.
It's just I like hard to remember. It's just basically because again of that thing where it's like, sometimes it's like an amazing spoiler of some variety where it's like shocking your world, but it's been a very long time since I cared about anything enough that also like I cared about the story enough that spoilers really bothered me.
Right.
But I've also been pretty lucky because a lot of people have been like pretty respectful in terms of in terms of video games.
That's amazing. Oh, there he goes. Ragdoll physics, the best physics. Yeah, I hate spoilers. Someone once spoiled one of the SWTOR stories for me accidentally. Because I had made a video and they started talking about one of the stories I hadn't done yet, and I was like, "Oh man, you just spoiled that for me." And I almost did that to Musco, which is one of the community managers for SWTOR. When I went down to the event down in San Francisco, where we got to play and see Galactic Starfighter pretty much for the first time. It was really sad because we started talking about our favorite stories, and I said, "Oh, the smuggler," because of, and as I'm like about to start saying like the twist in the smuggler story, he's just like, no, I haven't played it yet. I'm like, how you work at the company? How have you not played it yet?
Because there's a finite amount of time.
Clearly. But yeah, I'm not a fan of spoilers, and seeing that in at the Star Wars Celebration, it was like, ooh, that was an accident. Oops. But I get it. I understand. Like, oh, that was a definite accident.
The thing that gets me about like Rogue One is that like it's like the Romeo and Juliet thing. It's
like, you know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, like we all know what happened. Like they didn't blow up the Death Star at that time, and like where the plans go, right? It's like the important thing is like how it gets there.
Exactly.
So like spoiling that you know, movie to me is not really. It's like it already has been spoiled. Like,
yeah,
it was spoiled before we were all born.
That is very true.
Like, technically, so like, I mean, it may remove some of the tension, but I feel like if it's good enough as a movie, it, you know, will stand 100% on its own, regardless of how secret the initial story is. Because like, once it's out there for good. Like, the Red Wedding's not gonna be undone.
Get yourself some Vector.
That is true. But I think the argument for Rogue One is that this is a story that we know had happened, like the stealing of the Death Star plans, and many lives were lost and all that fun stuff.
The least accurate pistol I've ever seen.
Isn't it, though? It's like worse than the Halo pistol. Whoa, look at him.
Halo pistol is radical. The Halo pistol has a scope. You have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, I hate Halo, so, you know, there's that.
We are not going to get along well.
Come on, there we go. Yeah, I think, I
hate Halo as you played the Republic Space Commando video game.
Shh, it's not the same thing. It's different, I swear. Yeah, I think, there's an argument to be made that the Rogue One story is unique, and we haven't seen anything from it yet, like in the Star Wars canon, so it would be really fun to experience that, and like, oh, what happens to all these characters? We don't know, because they're not ever mentioned again in... Because aside from Mon Mothma, which we know is there, Darth Vader, we don't know anything about these characters that are like the main characters. So it's interesting. But on those lines, they also released that trailer, which I had you watch, which is kind of a behind the scenes thing. It was a lot of like behind the scenes shots of stuff they were filming. But I got the distinct impression, so did everybody else, that we now have confirmation that this movie is going to be like a war movie, kind of along the lines of Saving Private Ryan, or wow, I'm spacing on the name of this freaking movie. It's the one with gosh, this is my rifle, this is my gun, this is for fighting, this is for fun. What movie is that?
No.
Thank you. Like there's elements of shots from those movies in the Rogue One stuff. I am on those turrets. What do you want from me? Is there another turret up here? What is it?
Geonosian just speak like common?
No, they speak gloop glop. Glip glip gloop glip glop glip.
Delta, form up.
I don't know where I'm supposed to. Okay. Delta, we're gonna get them all to follow me. We're gonna go downstairs and we're gonna see what the heck's up. Yeah, so it's really cool that we finally kind of have confirmation that this movie is going to be a war movie, and I'm looking forward to that. Come on, die, you Trandoshan. Concussion rifle. Do I? Oh, hey, look, I have ammo again. Oh, I see.
Eliminate target.
Die, homie.
Mount that turret, Delta.
This is mildly intense in the fact that they're actually putting some pretty difficult turrets here to have to deal with.
It really is a really awkward like setup they have on this turret.
It is.
Full, like, oh, the sitting animation probably too complicated. They'll just stand in it.
They have to stand in it. Yep.
Did
he ever get...
Let's move on. Let's show him some real firepower.
OSWguild moving the turret.
I saw that grenade. Oh, I'm on fire.
I remember this like telling people what to do system working a lot better.
It feels pretty clunky now, doesn't it? Can I just grenade
Xbox turret?
I recently made an Xbox joke. I think it was on Fallout.
Yep, that's a wrap.
Where I yelled Xbox, Xbox go home, or Xbox off, or something like that. And someone commented saying they were on Xbox, and it did in fact turn their Xbox off.
Xbox Media Center.
It's so mean.
Xbox snap to Internet Explorer. Xbox take screenshot.
A Trade Federation battleship.
Yeah, not even you can see into hyperspace, Sev. It's on the edge of the system. Take a look.
What? Whoa, hey there.
Force field's
This
unstable.
will be a challenge.
I'm sending out a distress signal. We can't wait for help from Coruscant.
Advance to the next hangar and set up a defense. Move.
I'm opening up access to the maintenance tunnels.
Well, that was intense. That ship just... Wow, that's actually pretty big.
Calling any Republic
it's a
ships
Trade
near the
Federation
Commando
ship.
system. This is an emergency.
Yeah. You can tell that the polys are really low on it, though. You can see all the jaggies on it. There's only so many polys you can add to something that big
Respond immediately.
for a game this old. It's actually an issue like WoW had for a while,
I think we're on our own.
where like standard bosses had a certain amount of polygons that they could use.
Who am I speaking to? This is Delta
But
Squad
like,
advising
you know, like Onyxia had the highest poly count in the game back in the day,
attempting to capture our ship. Go.
until Nefarian was added, and then he was the highest one, and then,
Help is on the way.
yeah, it's just interesting how like old technology has to really worry about polygon count so much.
3-8, the droid
Fighting
dispatches will be
polygon
heading out in
team.
seconds. We can lay some traps. Clear up a few sightlines.
They could land anywhere. Let's spread the pain around.
What do I-
Delta,
okay.
give me an explosive solution.
I'm on it.
Let's set a trap there.
Perfect spot.
You got it.
Oh, I like this. It's not gonna work, but I like it.
It's that
Let's set a trap
I wonder
there.
why they haven't
spot.
introduced this earlier.
The trapping,
Yeah,
Proximity initiated.
they may have.
I don't remember seeing any of that at all earlier.
Yeah, neither do I.
It's mostly just use this thing.
Setting charge in place.
Stay in cover. Come back to me.
Let's set a trap
Yeah.
there.
Placing charge now.
Because it feels like we're pretty far through this game, right? Like, we've been in this
Yeah.
ship for like 2,000 years.
Yeah, we're almost done with the game, actually.
This should be good.
Bombard them from there, Delta.
On my way.
Oh, here they come. Okay, those are proxies. Gotcha.
Yeah, because there's no way you have enough buttons on a controller to also set these off individually.
How do you feel about shooters on consoles, by the way?
Another one bringing up the rear.
It's alright, makes sense.
Okay.
I mean, they're not my preferred method by any means.
Yeah, I just have never been able to, like, GoldenEye, I think, was the one that I played the most of, really.
I've discovered a
I've never really used a controller on consoles for shooters.
regulator on the left side of the
Don't like
hangar
it.
controls the power
I mean, some of them lend themselves alright to it.
Seal off the hangar for good.
Yeah.
Things like, kind of like Borderlands,
Let's
Destiny,
rearrange some architecture.
where it's not, like, quite as important that, you know, you land 100% of all your bullets, but rather that, like, you know, you maintain just, like, general distances and, like, use bullets as, like, a medium to activate your abilities.
Yeah. It's actually the reason Overwatch has turned out to be pretty hard to play on consoles. Because things like Torbjorn, who throws down his turret,
Take cover, Delta.
has proven to be very difficult for console players to have to deal with. Because he auto targets everything, which is really pretty annoying for people, apparently.
Destroyed.
Whereas on, like,
Put a demo charge
on
that, Rick.
PC, you can shoulder peek and kill him that way. It's interesting. But yeah, I hate playing shooters on consoles. It's the worst.
Cover me.
Is that ship moving? Oh no, it's a weird perspective thing. Holy cow. Also, is that an Empire symbol?
Nah.
I wonder if the texture work is actually supposed to be an Empire signal.
Excuse me, is this canonical texture work?
Yeah, it's not, I don't think.
I don't think this is canonical texture work. We need to get the people in on this.
Look, I've been playing way too much, or not playing, watching way too much Star Wars Celebration. This is not okay. Wait, what am I supposed to be doing here?
I just don't understand why we're celebrating things that, like, we don't have more of yet.
Well, we're celebrating all of the other Star Wars stuff.
We've been
but we're
celebrating
getting a
all the
look
other
at it.
Star Wars stuff for, like, 40 years.
Yeah, we've been also doing E3 for like 15, 20 years, something like that. Something stupid, like almost 20, I think. But you know, we still do E3 every year because there's always new stuff.
Well, you know, there was that dark time between, you know, 4, 5, and 6, and now where no movies came out except for 7.
That is very true. Oh, and then that Revenge of the Sith one,
Very
that one was pretty good.
Yeah, that light novel.
Yeah. a lot of good games that came out in that time too. You know, like KOTOR, KOTOR 2.
Yeah, you're welcome, film industry.
Yeah, take it.
Doing more canonically for the Star Wars universe than all the writers combined.
And then they canceled Star Wars 1313, and I was upset.
Isn't that uncanceled, maybe, or something?
No, it's still canceled.